All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the second episode of Pop Culture Time with Matt D.C, Sequester fam. So, I had so much fun last time with my first episode where we got to talk about Clueless with Ashley and JJ. So I am super stoked for this next installment. We're at episode 2, and guess what? We are going to be talking about our favorite heartthrobs of the 90s and 2000s. As y'all know, the theme of my podcast is pop culture of the 90s and 2000s. So we have to delve into our childhood. Who did we think was hot? Who did we love? So I'm super stoked to have this panel here join us as we talk about our favorite childhood crushes of the 90s and 2000s. I see a lot of people saying, let's go. Yes, I see you, Migs. Yes, I see you, Jess. And yes, Valencia. Yes, Valencia is also watching too. So before we start, don't worry. I'm going to have visuals whenever we talk about our crushes. Don't you worry, y'all. But before we start, I'm going to bring each of our panelists in one by one. So first up to bat, we've got Ashley Jordan. Woo! And then next, we've got Ilona.
Woo!
Yes, and last but not least, we've got Robin.
Hey, what's up, all my beautiful people?
I'm super stoked for this. How are y'all feeling?
Good.
Pretty excited.
Doing good, yes.
All right. So as we all know, the panelists, I gave them a mission this week. I gave them a homework assignment because I'm a teacher, because duh. And so they each had to go back in time and pick 6. Wait, that's not the right number. There you go. 6. I was like 3? 6 of their favorite childhood heartthrobs from the 90s and 2000s. And so, don't you fret, y'all. I've made a slideshow so that each person gets to explain who their heartthrob was / still is, and we'll have photos. So, and at the end of each of these presentations, we will then open it up to the audience to comment on who else they felt was missing in this little presentation, this little panel of hotness. All right. So are we ready, panel? Are we ready to explain who we love?
We're ready.
All right. I'm going to share screen it with y'all. Audience, I love you. Here we go. Oh, wait. Not quite there. There it is. All right. So as we see, I made a little slide with colors, because color is amazing. Yeah. We have 90s/2000 heartthrobs panel, pop culture time. So we're going to delve into it in a specific order. I am going to go first, because I'm the host, I guess. So here we go. My first pick. Look at this man. Look at how hot. He is so hot. And, like, Craig David. Ah. All right,
Is he a singer? What does he do?
Yeah, he's a singer.
I don't know him.
No, it's okay. He is a singer. He came out. He was super popular in the late to early 2000s, and he came out during the TRL time. He's British, and he came out with his first album called Born to Do It, and his first song, it was a naughty song called 7 Days, and not only did I like him because he looked really great, but he still is a great singer. He, as y'all know, R&B, I grew up with R&B and pop. And at the time when he came out, he combined the two so effortlessly. And he came out with 7 Days. I was like, favorite song. And what was the lyrics? It was like, Monday, took her for a drink on Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
We were making love. Yeah, that's him.
Oh, my God.
We were making love on Wednesday, and on Thursday and Friday and Saturday, we chilled on Sunday. Yeah, he talked about having sex 4 days in a row.
Ooh.
I mean, look at him. I mean, that's
Wow.
great. So that was my pick, and then he came out with a lot of good songs, like Walking Away. He came out with a ballad on that same ballad, and Can You Feel Me In, that one. And then on this last album, he, Slicker Than the Average, he came out with What's Your Flavor? Tell me what's your flavor.
Oh, see, I know that one. Yeah.
Yeah. So any other comments from, oh wow, Valencia is she's screaming. She is screaming. I love it. How do I share comments again? I keep forgetting how to.
I think you click on the comments right here in the
got
private
it.
chat. Yeah.
Matt, I love you too, Valencia. And then she's saying, "Do you starting off good?" And Mick's like, "Oh, that was him." Yes, Mick, it was him. Also, with like a bunch of there are a bunch of Sequester people in the community who were like just probably born when he came out. So this is also a great channel, which is why I established it. It is my duty to educate all of y'all youngins about the stuff you have missed in the 90s and 2000s. All right, so panel, do you have any additions to this hotness known as Craig David?
You know, it's funny, all of these songs, like I know them as you're singing that. They're coming, like I'm envisioning them right now. But it's like I didn't know it was Craig David. So this is a learning lesson for me.
Yeah, great. Yeah, Craig David. Oh, and What's Your Flavor was in that movie called What a Girl Wants with Amanda Bynes. Yes. Y'all remember that?
Yes.
Yes. All right. So I guess we're ready to go to our next one. Are we ready for our next edition? I believe this is Ashley's pick. Ashley's first pick. We got Devon Sawa.
Devon Sawa, my first love. Oh my gosh. I remember that was like the first time I ever got one of those teeny bopper magazines where they had the posters on the inside and you had to like take the staples apart and so that it wouldn't mess up the poster and you could put it on your wall. And oh man, this was my first real super crush for a celebrity, and I thought I was going to marry him. And if you don't recognize him, he was from some 90s movies that I remember. This was how I first learned about him. Was he was in a movie called Little Giants about where there was a girl football player, and I thought that was going to be me. And then he was in Now and Then. He was in Casper, and then as he got older, he was like in Final Destination.
Yes.
And like Idle Hands and those type movies. And I just loved him so much. Thought I was going to marry him.
Yeah, like when I saw him in Now and Then, because that was one of my favorite movies growing up, as cheesy as it was. But seeing him, I was like, ooh, who's this man? And I was still a child, so I was like, crap, I can't be attracted to men because I'm Catholic and I'm growing up Filipino. So, but those thoughts were there. So, oh, we've got more guests. Yes. All right. Any other comments from Ilona or Robin?
I just want to say, look at this picture. It is such a 90s picture.
It's such a 90s picture.
I am just in love with this picture.
I think I had this exact same poster on my wall as a kid.
But it's funny, when you said Casper, I immediately pictured it. I was like, oh my God, that's where I know him from, Casper. Yeah.
Yes, Casper. All right. Are we ready to go to the next pick? Our Ilona's first pick, here we go, is we got Andrew Keegan.
My love.
Ilona, go ahead. Go ahead.
Andrew Keegan literally is like, so I thought I was going to marry Andrew Keegan. He is, I just love staring at him. Like, even just looking at this picture right now, I personally think he aged very nicely too. So I was introduced to Andrew Keegan off of his numerous appearances in the 90s in like Full House, Step by Step, Boy Meets World, Sabrina the Teenage Witch. These are all like his guest appearances. And every single one of them, he always had the same character, same bad boy character that he played. And then I was reintroduced to him in 10 Things I Hate About You, which again, a bad boy, like the ultimate bad boy. So I just love him. I love him.
Yeah. 10 Things I Hate About You was like one of my favorite things. He played the asshole so well. Even though he played the asshole so well, like I still thought he was super hot. Especially when you said Full House. I totally forgot he was on Full House. Along with Marla Sokolov, who played the badass bitch Gia. Yeah.
It's so weird that she brought him up because I literally, if you guys are watching Moesha on Netflix right now, he was actually in a Moesha episode where they had this whole
really?
Yeah, he was dating Moesha, and there was this whole like cultural thing that he's white, she's black, and yeah. So it was a really good episode.
He was also, I'm sorry, what?
Oh, sorry, Robin. What episode was that?
I don't remember the episode, but it's in season 1.
Okay, cool. All right, sorry. Go ahead, Alana.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's also in Seventh Heaven too, and I actually was never really into Seventh Heaven. I just never really got into it. I was more like a Gilmore Girls, like that sort of world. But yeah, he was also in Seventh Heaven too. So
yes, he was like everywhere. He
everywhere.
Was literally a random question. Doesn't he also have a religious cult, or is that just a thing?
Oh, wow.
You gotta look that up.
Following. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I can see why.
I can see why too. All right. Here we go. Looking at the comments before we move on. Oh, Valencia says, Robin, I remember that. Oh, we got Brandon here. Brandon says, hey.
Hey, Brandon.
All right, and then we've got Brian with a Y here too. Yes. All right, so we're gonna go to. I believe this is Robin's first pick now, and I'm very excited about this one.
All right. Yes.
Jesse Metcalf. Go for it, Robin.
Well, I think we all know, like, I met him on the show Passions.
Yes,
and he was so good looking. Like, I loved Passions. Like, even I think I was like 7, 8 years old, a little kid, like watching Passions. And it was such a great soap opera. I was so sad when it got canceled. But Jesse was that one that, like, I saw, like, marrying.
Mm-hmm.
I used to play The Sims a lot, like Sims 2. That used to be my last name. It used to be like Robin Metcalf, and we used to have a little family and everything. So yeah.
So you met him?
I have not met him. No.
Oh, okay. I thought you said you met him.
I wish.
Oh man.
I used to pretend he was my husband in The Sims, and we used to have little Sim babies. He is so fine. And he still looks good. He aged really well.
Yep.
Yeah, and he's down with the swirl, so we're into that.
Yes. Oh man, and like you brought up Passions, Robin. Like, it would always happen. Obviously, we were at school, so we couldn't watch it. So before DVR happened, I made sure on my VCR that I timered it to record it every time Passions would go on, so that when I would go home, I would be able to watch Passions. And like Jesse Metcalf was like one of the hotties. There was also the guy who played Luis on that show, Galen Gehring. He was so hot. And then
a lot of hot guys on that show.
Oh yeah, and the guy who played Chad. Oh, Chad was bomb. It was the most ridiculous soap opera ever. Yeah,
soap operas were just so 90s. Like there's
I loved was the witch Tabitha or something like that. Oh, I loved her. And little Timmy.
Oh, and Brian has a comment. He said he was also on this show.
Oh, yep.
Yes, he was on Desperate Housewives. Yep.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
And he was in John Tucker Must Die with Ashanti.
God, that movie, I still watch that movie like every couple months. I love that movie.
Isn't he like a song or something in that movie? I think there's one scene. Yes, lived for that. Ooh.
All right, we've got all right, we're gonna go to our next person, but I think as a panel we need to like decompress for like maybe 5 to 10 seconds. So let's take the time to be like, ooh, we're just in our first picks, y'all. Each of us picked 6. So if we are already like going all off, ooh, I'm excited for what's to become. All right, so here we go. I think this is now my picks. All right, so here we go. All right, so I combined my second and third picks with Freddie Prinze Jr. and Rachel Lee Cook. So obviously, I love She's All That growing up. I've always been a huge fan of Freddie Prinze Jr. because not only was he still is super hot. Him and Sarah Michelle Gellar are couple goals. Let's be real.
Oh my God.
Yes.
I have a story to say about that, but
go ahead.
You can continue. Oh no, I was just gonna say before like years ago when I was like 10 years old, like I always knew like I wanted to transition and stuff, but I didn't know how it would work or like I didn't know how I would look. And just like I would dream about being, because I was so obsessed with her, I would dream that I was Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yes.
Like, yeah, I would dream I was her. And then I would always be, of course, because she's married to Freddie Prinze, who would be married and stuff. And then I saw them in Scooby-Doo.
Yes.
If anybody watched
So
Scooby-Doo, and I fell in love with him there as Fred. So
Yeah, and like the thing
and
is,
I did have this little sticker of him on one of my notebooks. Yeah, in middle school. So
that's awesome, Robin. Oh my god.
I think he had like a milk mustache.
Oh, he did.
Oh,
He-
I remember that.
I don't know
Yes.
if anybody remembers
Yes.
that sticker.
I remember that.
They did that. Oh my god, that's totally those milk commercials.
Got
Oh,
milk.
yeah,
I will
milk.
say Rachel Lee Cook is just such a gorgeous like being. She's
Yes.
so and she's so small. I just love her. I just love her.
She's so dope. And like the thing is like yeah, so I'll get into her in just a moment, but like Freddie Prinze is like he encompassed the good boy, the good guy in every one of his films. And I'm gonna get a little inappropriate real quick. Me and my best friend, we were talking about how hot Freddie Prinze Jr. is, and we were like, he probably has the most perfect penis ever. It's just right, you know?
It's like yeah, it's perfect.
Yes, it's perfect. It's not too big. It's not too small. It's just right. And and she's all that last scene where he pretty much showed his butt. I was like, ooh, he's so good. And
I
he
need
is
to
just
check out this movie now.
You
Jeez.
do.
Oh, you've never seen this movie?
Oh yeah.
I've never seen it.
You need to see it.
Classic.
Yes, because Gabrielle.
I need to
Union
catch
was
up
in
on
it.
a lot of movies. Matt's been
do.
telling me.
So like a few months back, I made a list of like every single like cult classic 90s, 2000s movies. This was literally number one.
Yes.
All that was number one.
And like a lot of like people who were starting out were in it. Like Paul Walker, this was his first movie. Lil Kim was in this movie.
Usher.
Oh wow!
Usher. Gabrielle Union, this was one of her first movies.
Mhm.
Wow,
And then
this
Dule
cast is
Hill.
stacked.
And
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
It's such a great cast. And so yeah, Freddie Prinze just represented that wholesome hot dude. And it's just so good.
It's a great
Now-
movie.
Now let's go on to Rachel Lee Cook. I've been a huge, even before She's All That came out, I was a huge fan. She modeled a lot in Japan, and I remember looking up her modeling pictures before this movie came out, and I was like, Rachel Lee Cook, she's so hot. I really like her, and I thought I was attracted to her back then, but I just wanted to beat her because she was this really short woman, but she looked so stunning in her modeling photos in Japan. And then after she started modeling, she eventually got her start in movies. She was in Babysitter's Club with Larissa Oylinik, a lot of those 90s actors, which was
by
great.
the way, fun fact, I did work with Larissa before in a
What?
show. So yeah, I didn't know who she was because I didn't. Yeah, but afterwards, I found out who she was, and like she's
That's
a big
awesome.
'90s stars.
Oh my
But
gosh.
I know who she is, and she knows who I am now.
Yes, Robin
so
getting
cool.
names.
That's awesome.
Yes, Robin getting names. I love it. That's great. Man, I'm jealous. I
The
wanna
show
meet her.
didn't get picked up, sadly.
Oh.
But
It was during pilot season then?
yeah, we did 4 episodes, and it was like for this indie show, and we did 4 episodes, but they didn't get enough views to be picked up.
Oh,
But she's in a
man.
new show now on Netflix, so
Oh,
I
that's
guess it
true.
worked out for her.
I gotta watch it. Oh man. Oh wait, Rachel Lee Cook. Thank you for that. But Larissa, yeah. Okay, so Rachel Lee Cook, and then remember that commercial where she had the frying pan about drugs, where she's like, "This is your brain on drugs." Smack with the pan.
Yeah.
And
I
then
don't
she
remember
just-
that one.
Oh, it's a classic because the dare was a
Is
big
that
thing
with the
back then.
eggs being fried in the pan?
Yes.
Okay.
And
Yeah, I
she was
remember
like
that commercial.
smashing it, and like I was like, and this is before she got She's All That, and so I was like, ooh, she's badass. She knows what she's doing. Yeah, Jess was saying hitting the egg. Here, I gotta highlight that comment. Yes, Jess, hitting the egg. And then she got She's All That, which was her biggest breakthrough, and I was her biggest cheerleader. I was like, she's gonna make it big. She's making it big now. And I just love her to death. Like she's just, and then Josie and the Pussycats, she was in that with Rosario Dawson,
Oh,
Tara
yeah.
Reid. Totally
Ooh.
underrated. It got panned by the critics, and it flopped, and it shouldn't have flopped because it was super genius. I don't know, just so much that I love about this duo right here. So any other comments y'all have, panel, or
I just feel like this movie and like the two main characters, you just get this like very good energy from it. Like it's just, I don't know, I just love this movie. I love these two. So
yes, they were like a match made in heaven in regards to chemistry, and it really worked out. And if y'all haven't watched this movie yet, you need to put this on your list.
Yes.
As we said, it's a stacked cast of like people who are famous now that were getting their start, and it's Lil Kim. Lil Kim she doesn't act at all, and she was in it. So it's like,
if you want a good glimpse into the 90s, watch this movie.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. All right, we got our next pick. I believe it's Ashley's second pick. Let's see. All right, Ashley's second pick. Josh Hartnett.
Yes.
Go for it.
Yes. Gosh, I loved him so much. He has that like edgy vibe where he's like kind of a little bit of a bad boy, where he's gonna be a little mean to you, but only to other people, but he's like a soft teddy bear on the inside.
Mhm.
So I loved him. My sister used to take me to see R-rated movies whenever I was young, when I wasn't allowed to. And so she snuck me in to see Halloween H2O. And that was my first movie that I saw him in, and I was absolutely in love. I was like, oh my gosh, who is this guy? He is so hot. And then that started my love affair. So he was in like The Faculty. That was like such a fun movie. And Here on Earth, I loved him so much with in that movie. And then Pearl Harbor was just definitely had like posters and stuff from Pearl Harbor up on my wall. As a kid, I just loved him so much.
Oh yeah, and like he was also in the Shakespeare Othello movie with Mekhi Phifer. Oh, I'm sad I didn't put him on this list.
Yeah.
The Boy Is Mine, Mekhi Phifer, and then Julia Stiles was in that too, and so that was like one of my favorites of Josh's in regards to when he was like coming up. You know, yeah. Anyone else? Any thoughts?
I actually I'm not sorry, Robin. I'm not too familiar with him, to be honest with you, but another beautiful 90s picture, and he looks really good.
Yes.
Yeah, he looks really good. I didn't really know of him until I saw this called 30 Days of Night, where they're like these vampires and stuff, and he was such a badass in that movie, and that made me really turned on by him. But I did see him afterwards because I'm such a huge like horror movie. I did see him in Halloween H2O, so love that movie.
Oh yes.
As much as all that timeline is erased now, but you know.
I know that's what they do. Don't even get us started.
I know. Don't get me started on all the timelines of horror movies. Like.
All right, let's go to our second pick. Ilona's second pick. Here we go. I believe is get the slide ready.
Yes, legendary.
My beauty. Rest in peace. But he another bad boy, because I just had a thing for bad boys growing up, and all throughout my high school years, which probably did not do well for me. But anyway, so I was introduced to him in 10 Things I Hate About You. Again, literally another movie. If you guys have no idea what the 90s look like, watch 10 Things I Hate About You as well. And then another one, side note, Can't Hardly Wait. That's a really good one too.
Yes.
But all stacked cast, by the way. So anyway, so I was introduced to him in 10 Things I Hate About You. I was actually just rewatching that like 2 hours ago. So I'm obsessed with him. I loved his like curly hair. It's just everything about him was just beautiful. And then, he went into like the 2000s and got into Brokeback Mountain, which he looked so hot in that movie. Oh my God.
Yeah.
But anyways, and then, Casanova, which was another great movie.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. And then Dark Knight, which was his last one, I think it was. Unfortunately, he passed. But so I used to dream about him. So
yeah, I loved Heath Ledger so much too. I saw A Knight's Tale probably like 5 times in the theaters. Do you remember that movie where it was like where they did like the jousting and stuff?
Yeah.
Me and my best friend could quote like every line in that movie. Like to this day, I think we still quote that movie. Like whenever we see each other. Oh my gosh. And like I saw it so many times. I was like a big poster person. I had posters like everywhere. And I really I really wanted A Knight's Tale poster, and so the guy that owned the theater gave me the poster because I saw the movie so much. So it was really nice.
That's so funny.
I love that.
I was like, I've been here like 5 or 6 times. Can I just like have that poster in his picture? And he like went and took it off the wall and gave it to me.
Oh, that's so nice.
Oh, that was.
It's just like, look at him though. He's like, his smile is just
I love him so much.
And then
It was so infectious.
it is. And then Ilana, correct me if I'm wrong. In 10 Things I Hate About You, did he sing Sweet Caroline in that? Yeah.
Yes. I actually had to stop. I had to take a break, take my dog on a walk, and then I didn't get to that part. And I'm gonna rewatch it and like get back to it after this. So I love that point of the movie.
It's so good.
I love him. I just love him.
And then Larissa Oylanik was also in that as well, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my God.
And then Julia Stiles too.
Yes, Julia.
Yeah.
And Gabrielle Union again.
Again, a stacked cast.
Just a bunch of 90s people.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And the girl who played, I keep forgetting her name. Oh, Suzanne Pratt. Okay, she's not a big name, but she was in the movie Center Stage where she played Maureen Cummings.
I love that movie too.
Okay, so for those of y'all who haven't watched, your watch list right now are 10 Things I Hate About You.
I know, I'm taking notes.
She's All That.
She's All That, and Center Stage. This is
Can't Hardly Wait.
Oh, and Can't Hardly Wait. So, Migs, specifically, I'm calling you out because you were born in the 2000s, I think. All right, we're going to go to our next one. I believe this is Robin's second pick as well. So, I could be wrong, though, but let's see. Oh, Robin.
Yes, Mario Lopez.
Mario Lopez. Go for it.
Of course, I know him from Saved by the Bell in the 90s. And I think everybody was obsessed with Zach Morris, but I was obsessed with Mario's character.
Same.
And he was so good looking. And every time he would like exercise or something, a tight shirt, I'd just see those bulging muscles and that body. Oof.
Oh.
Like all these guys from the 90s just reaffirmed to me. I was like, yeah, I like men. There's no doubt about it. Like,
and like he was a trained dancer too. Like he could dance his ass off. And I like how they showcased in the show that he was a ballet dancer. He had technique. And I remember before he got famous on Saved by the Bell, he was on this show called Kids Incorporated. He was a background dancer.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, do you remember that show? Yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
Of course I do.
Kids Incorporated was a show where Fergie, when she was known as Stacey Ferguson, had her start. And so, and we had Jennifer Love Hewitt had her start. I forgot about putting so many that we've missed.
Another icon,
Jennifer Love Hewitt. Mario Lopez had his start on that show, and Saved by the Bell. Those muscles.
Right. Ooh, so hot. And he's still very hot. Like he keeps his body in shape.
He aged well.
And when he was in Nip Tuck, they showed, I didn't watch the show, but I remember that when Mario Lopez was on that show, the clip circulated of him in the shower showing his butt. And I was like, I don't watch Nip Tuck, but I'll watch this clip over and over and over.
I've never really watched Nip Tuck either, but I've seen.
I never watched it, but I've heard of it.
The naughty scenes. So I always just look up the naughty.
Ooh, yeah. So just look him up.
Especially if it's with a celebrity that I know that I have a crush on. I'm like, I'm going to look that up.
And it's much easier
I can dream
now.
About it. Yeah.
And it's right there. All right. Any other comments from? Oh, wow. Okay. Migs. Sorry. I love you, Migs. I just love giving you crap because it's out of love and you're young. Mario Lopez. All right. I'm going to highlight Mario Lopez is lit. Oh, yeah. He did America's Best Dancer. That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
He did. Cool. All right. Next slide. I believe this is now, since I did my second and third together, this should be Ashley's third pick. Let's see. Yes.
Oh,
right.
yes.
Nick Carter.
Nick Carter. All right, go off. Go off, Ashley.
Okay, this probably should have been my number one, but Devon Sawa was like my first crush. This was like my first lust. I was going to absolutely marry Nick Carter. Okay, so the story starts with NSYNC. I saw the first Disney special that NSYNC like ever did whenever we were on vacation with like Justin Timberlake with his like his hair was like super super curly like ramen noodles or whatever.
Yeah.
And I loved Justin Timberlake so much, and NSYNC was actually my first concert. But then like Backstreet Boys started getting like more popular, and I was the person that switched. I switched from NSYNC to diehard Backstreet Boys, and Nick Carter was my absolute number one. I had the merchandise, I had the t-shirts, I had pins, I had CDs, I had posters, I had everything. I got to see Backstreet Boys, I think, once or twice, and my dad took me and my best friend to the concert.
Your dad?
That's awesome.
Where he had to just sit in like the nosebleed seats while me and my best friend like had the posters and are like screaming at the top of our lungs and like all the things with all these like 13-year-old girls. Oh my gosh. I loved them from like, do you remember when like Millennium came out? And, like, they were so big on TRL, and like the streets outside New York would be like so full for the Backstreet Boys. Oh God. I wrote him fan mail. I wrote fan fiction about Nick Carter.
Yes.
My obsession was real. I think that was back in the day because I was a big like I wrote in my journal a lot, and like everything was like, what would I picture my future husband to be? His name would be Nicholas Jean Carter, and he'd be blonde hair and blue eyes. Like I read like his biographies, like his mom wrote a book. Oh man. And the sad thing is that the 13-year-old me would be really sad that like Backstreet Boys are still kind of like out there and they're still performing and stuff, and I haven't been to see them like once they've come back. Or
oh man,
I think they even have like a cruise that they have with
New Kids on the Block. It was a great combination.
You know, it's funny actually. Like when I was growing up, like when NSYNC and Backstreet Boys were big, my parents wouldn't let me go to concerts then because I was too young. But and they wouldn't take me, which is I'm still mad about. But so I have seen Backstreet Boys now, like in their like reunion tours and stuff. So I've seen them with New Kids on the Block twice.
Oh man, I'm so jealous.
Right. Yeah.
I've even asked my husband, I'm like, would you take me to go see Backstreet Boys now? Aww. Will you go stand on a chair with me and like scream?
You gotta remake those songs, Ashley. You gotta remake them.
I was like, I feel like I'm not doing like the little girl me justice by like, here's the opportunity and I'm not taking it.
Yeah.
You know how much money NSYNC and Backstreet Boys could make if they did like a reunion tour? Like,
oh my God, I would go
and like sell it to go watch that.
That would be amazing. They need to. Justin needs to get out of like he needs to reunite with them eventually. I think it's time.
It's been.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Next pick. I believe it's Ilona's pick. Third. Oh, hold on. This may be an interesting one. Hold on. All right. Ilona and Robin picked Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yes.
Ilona sent this one, and we had to feature it because, and then look at this 90s, all 90s here, and he's just ready to take over the world shirtless. He's giving me Kurt Cobain vibes right here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, so Ilona and Robin, take it away.
So I was searching the internet for like the perfect Leo DiCaprio young picture, and I went through. There's so many of them, but I couldn't I fixated on this left picture, and I hate the fact that I just don't understand the concept of like a duck or like whatever. But I just look at it or a swan, whatever, a swan, but. Whatever it's called, a bird. Is a swan a bird? Anyway, so his face, just look at the beauty that is Leo. I'm obsessed with him.
Yeah, I mean, I think after everybody saw Titanic, we got really obsessed with him because that's the first movie I've seen him in. And well, in this picture, specifically why I picked this, well, he doesn't have a shirt on and he looks super sexy, and that's the kind of body I want on my man. So if you have a body like that, slide in my DMs. Because damn.
Yeah, but I actually did not know that Romeo and Juliet came out a year before Titanic did.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, and I was introduced to Romeo and Juliet after Titanic. And I'm obsessed with the Titanic and like his character. And obviously I sobbed like a baby. I still sob every time I watch that.
Yes.
But in Romeo and Juliet, I think I was way more attracted to him in that movie than the Titanic. I just, there's something about him. He just played that character so well, and it just made me like love him. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
I think he's such a phenomenal actor. Like Miguel said, like I'm so glad that he finally got his Oscar, because all these roles he gets so into them, like immerses himself, like.
And he actually, someone said that he had a cameo in, I think it was Growing Pains. He also had a cameo in Home Improvement.
Oh, that's right. Home Improvement.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to watch that.
Oh,
yeah.
Such a good show.
And he was in, was he also in What's Eating Gilbert Grape?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That was one of the first acting jobs.
Yeah.
I went to this, like, it was kind of like TRL where they do a music video countdown, and they gave everybody like free DVDs of that movie, because I've never seen it, and I watched it, and then I just kept watching it because I loved it so much. I mean, the ending is sad. I won't spoil it.
Yeah.
It's such a really good movie, and that's one of the roles that he did that is so phenomenal.
Yeah, he got did he get nominated for an Oscar for that? I believe because he played a really good role in that. I don't know. Migs, if you remember, let us know if you remember Leo getting nominated for that.
I got to tell my Titanic story.
Go for it.
So Titanic was the movie that made me understand love for the first time. I can tell you what I was wearing the first time I saw Titanic. That's
Go for it.
Impact. I was wearing like a red sweatsuit, and my sister took me to see this movie, and we had to stay until after the credits because I was sobbing so hard. It was the very first time where I was like, I understand love and loss at the same time.
Yeah.
I cried the entire way home. We like, my parents went and took me to go see it, and like they would have to stay every single time because no matter how many times I saw it, I cried so hard. And then I remember the day that it finally came out on video, and it was a school day, and I was so worried that it was going to be sold out. Because you remember it came out on like VHS, so it was like a 2-box set. And so like my mom, I came home from school and she was like, it was all sold out, and I like cried. I was like, no, I told you to go early and get it for me.
Actually, can I just say your parents are amazing, because my parents, on top of the fact that they did not let me go to concerts back then, I could not see the Titanic because of that scene. They would not let me watch it, so I had to sneak away and like find somebody who had it on DVD or VHS at the time and watch it that way. And then I was traumatized because they all did.
Oh, man.
I wrote like before. I don't know why I don't remember having internet at this time, but I like got a notebook with a whole ream of paper, and I wrote the lines of the movie. Hand wrote the lines. That's how much I was obsessed. Something was really wrong with me.
Nothing's wrong with you. I just love you so much.
Yes. I think being a little kid and watching Titanic, like, because you don't understand the concept of it being a movie. And plus, I don't know if they preferenced it in the movie or if I had heard it that it was based on a true story or whatever. So when I saw Leo die in the movie, I was like, oh no, he died for real. I thought they were like real people that died.
I just love the Inception like thing where he comes out of the water and like he's like alive from
Oh, I have a Titanic story as well. So I watched it 3 times. This was my first movie experience about like what sex was. Because there was that scene in the car where him and Kate Winslet were having sex. And it was like the hand getting all foggy. And every time I would be in the boys' bathroom with my friends, we would I would fog up the window. I would fog up, literally, I would fog up and like, hey guys, I'm Kate Winslet from Titanic.
Oh my God.
Because boys back then, like, even if you're gay or straight, you think you're at that age where you're like, I'm thinking about sex. And so, and obviously, like, again, when Kate Winslet was nude, like with her tits, I was like, ooh, those are tits. Ow! And I was like, I knew wasn't attracted to them, but I was like, oh my god, look at those tits. I see Kate Winslet's tits, and that's like the whole time I was like, tits and ooh.
Yeah, boobies.
Oh yeah, Marcelo's saying it in the chat, but I don't know if y'all saw how they filmed the ending scene, but they were literally in a pool.
Yeah, they're just in a pool. Yeah.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
That's right.
It's not as dramatic as it looks.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna rewind it back. Jess is here with the facts already. Wow, Alan fixes. Wow, you go, Jess. Is
that's
like,
awesome.
Oh, cool.
Yes, Jess. All right, so are we ready to go to are we ready to, okay, let's decompress over Leo.
Oh, God.
So many memories from just Leo. And also sex. Okay, cool. All right, we're going to go to our next one. I believe this is my fourth pick now. I believe. Let's see. Yes, okay, so this is my fourth pick. Paulo Montalban. For those of you who aren't familiar, Filipino guy, clearly one of my idols growing up because I'm Filipino myself. Y'all know that at this point, but I'll keep hammering it into your brains, y'all. I'm Filipino and proud. And he made me so proud because he played the prince in the best Cinderella interpretation ever, which starred Whitney Houston as the fairy godmother and Brandy as Cinderella. And it was just so cool to see. I mean, yeah, Whoopi Goldberg was his mom and Victor Garber, who was white, was his dad. Yeah. And they ended up having an Asian baby, which, you know, doesn't necessarily make sense. Yeah, it's like, what happened? But what I loved about this movie is that everyone was pretty much represented. And seeing him on screen play the hot prince as an Asian person gave me so much hope as a performer, and it gave me a lot of hope to see that on screen. And he was super hot. Like, this was one of the first times, because as an Asian male, you don't see Asian men usually put on the pedestal of being the hot one, right? It's always like the sidekick or the nerd. And he literally did that. He was like, yes, I'm a prince. I'm Filipino. I'm hot. And like, it was great because after this movie came out, a lot of my friends were like, oh yeah, the prince is hot. What's his name? Paulo Montalban. Oh my gosh, he's so sexy. And it was just great to see him finally get that recognition. And it was so cool. And a story, he, in the theater community, he actually in Seattle, he played one of the fathers in Mamma Mia before COVID happened. He had a production in Seattle for Mamma Mia, and a couple of my friends got to work with him. And my friend Alexandria, who played one of the roles in there, like during an after party, she was like, this is my dream. And he literally was dancing with her like she was Cinderella in the Cinderella movie. And I was like, Alexandria, I'm so jealous. You get to be my idol. Yeah, she's living the dream. And I was like, ah. And so also another movie y'all need to watch, the Cinderella version.
There's so many good movies from the 90s.
Yes, I'm literally just going to come up with a list after this podcast.
That's why they're all remaking it.
Yeah. So, yeah, I just need to come up with a list of the movies we discussed so that everyone can we should also have some watch parties, y'all. We could have watch parties too.
Yeah.
So I'm down for that. Any other, and unfortunately his career didn't take off as well as it should have, because that's another conversation, but he played, he was in the Mortal Kombat short-lived series. They had a Mortal Kombat series where he played Kung Lao for a bit. And yeah, now he's just doing Broadway, doing this thing, and he's clearly an idol of mine, and I had to add him on this list. So,
did you see Marcelo's comment?
Let me see.
My brother-in-law is friends with him.
Oh my gosh, Marcelo!
Marcelo, introduce him to Matt.
Hook it up, yeah.
Please, he's my idol, Marcelo. He's like King Paulo Montalban. Oh my gosh! All right. Lana's here. Hi, Lana. Oh my gosh.
Hi.
Oh my gosh. So many people are here. All right. I'm excited. All right. Any other thoughts before we go on to other picks? I think we're good. All right. Now I believe this is Ashley's fourth pick. I think. Hopefully the slide is correct. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Ashley.
Love it.
No, I had to. Oh man, Taylor Hanson.
Tell us why.
Oh gosh.
Can't wait to hear this one.
Okay, yeah. So this was during also, okay, I loved Nick Carter and my best friend loved Taylor Hanson. And so we were always like, we had that thing where it's like, you can't like who I like and you can't like who I like. Because she wanted to marry Taylor Hanson. She like had her like entire bedroom was filled with Taylor Hanson posters, but I also love Taylor Hanson. And gosh, Hanson was great. they are they're still great. I've seen them in concert twice, like since they've been like older now. And they came near me in Savannah, and then I also saw them in Vegas one time. That was another story, but oh gosh, Hanson. I mean, how can you not like Mbop?
Wait, actually, I need to hear this story.
Yeah, go, Ashley, tell us. If you're comfortable.
Okay, well, my mom, whenever she used to like going to Vegas, and I convinced her to go to Vegas one time specifically so that I could see Hanson in concert. I'm like, Mom, you could go and gamble, and then I could go and see Hanson. And it did work. And so me and my mom took a trip by ourselves to Vegas so that I could go see Hanson and she could gamble. But nice. So I went to a concert by myself, and I was like, I'll be fine. It was like For the Walk. Do you remember that was their album? And they did like a charity thing beforehand with Tom's where they would do like a mile around the concert venue. And so like I went with Tom's? Yeah, Tom's, the shoes. Like, so they would give away.
I thought you meant like Tom's, like the anti.
I mean, he did give me heartburn, but. But yeah. Oh gosh, it was fun. It was fun. I got to meet Isaac one time. That was really fun. But yeah, that fangirl in me, you have to keep her at bay sometimes. You gotta tell her to calm down a little bit.
Gotta keep her at bay.
Oh, God. You know what's funny? My best friend was also obsessed with Hanson, and I think it was Taylor Hanson that she was obsessed with too. And I never really got into Hanson as much. I like a few of their songs, but I was more like NSYNC Backstreet Boys, and she was more Hanson, that kind of action. So yeah, it's always fun to hear all these stories.
I just knew you were gonna sing it, Matt.
Oh my God. And they had a performance of that. They did it on ABC or something where they performed it when they were older, and it because they can't sing that high anymore because puberty and they're no longer children. But like they sang it like as men, and it was just like, oh,
different.
Oh, I really need to hear that. I haven't heard it.
I'll post it in our chat after this podcast. I'll look for it, and I'll don't worry, I'll share it with y'all. So.
And he's still super hot.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I've seen their current pictures. Yeah, they're still hot.
They are still hot, all of them. Oh, and even the young, what was the young one's name again? Zach. Oh, Zach. I know, like Zach.
Taylor, Isaac, and Zach.
Okay, so let's take a laugh break for like 5 seconds before we go to the next one.
Y'all. Breathe.
Okay. Woo. All right. I think we're going to Ilona's fourth pick.
This is funny and embarrassing.
No, it's all good. That's why I love doing. That's why I was like, pop culture. We've got to. It's a way of going back to our times as youth, and I think it's a great, awkward, funny journey, and we're going through it right now. We're going through it. All right, here we go. Oh. Ryder Strong, Ilona, tell us.
Okay, Ryder Strong, we know if you know him. I know this is a very unconventional pick, I think, but
is it?
At least I don't know. That's what I've heard. But so Ryder Strong, Boy Meets World, bad boy again. Mm-hmm. But the thing with his character Sean in Boy Meets World was he was the bad boy, but he had like the biggest heart. Yes. And he just loved his family, loved his friends, and he was just given he was just dealt a bad hand in life, and he tried to make the most of it. And I think, he was just an amazing character, and I just thought he was so hot. I used to literally have dreams of him like all the time growing up, that I was going to like go meet him in school, and then we were going to fall in love and then be like the Corey and Topanga, and it was just me and Ryder. But yeah, so that's how I just loved Ryder. But he also did like an appearance in Home Improvement, I think, too.
Yes.
I think it was before Boy Meets World, actually. And then he also, I think, like when he got older, he did a lot of like voiceovers for like different like comic, like cartoon characters or whatever. I think he was in Kim Possible too.
Yeah.
So he did that kind of as he got older. But yeah, Ryder Strong.
Ryder Strong's so dope. And I said this in our chat as well, but the girl who played Angela experienced a lot of microaggressions on set as being the only African-American woman on set. And a lot of backstage stories were saying that Ryder was pretty much the only one who stood up for her and was like, hey, this is not cool.
Stand him for that.
So even more kudos to Ryder Strong for standing up even during the days where it was like not uncalled for, but it was like a little like no one really stood up for that back in the day, like they do now. So
yeah, and I've listened to some of his like interviews and things like that as he like kind of got older, and he's just always been such a like it seems like such a great person. So I mean, that in of itself makes him hot to me. So
oh yeah, for sure. And he was great on Kim. Just with the facts, Jess, you're gonna be on the panel for my next episode somehow, because you know all of these facts.
I don't remember who Brick was. What character was that?
I think he was like the star quarterback.
Oh, okay.
That's right.
Because I know that the boy who played Eric, he was
I loved Eric.
He was also in it,
yeah, the main Kim Possible guy,
Will
Ron.
Ferrell.
Oh yeah.
Will Ferrell, yeah.
All right, are we ready to go to another pick?
Yes.
All right. I believe this is Robin's fourth pick, and Robin, I wanted to open it up to other than just American celebrities, and Robin brought up a good point. Bollywood. She grew up with Bollywood, and so the reason why I'm presenting this slide is so that all of us can know who her heartthrobs were as well, so that we could be like, oh, that's so and so. Let's watch that person in the future. So I wanted to open it up to just other than American heartthrobs, because heartthrobs are everywhere. Because why not? So here we go. Robin's fourth pick. Fourth pick. Here we go.
Yeah, his name is Shah Rukh Khan. He was this big '90s Bollywood star. He was one of my crushes because I grew up in Guyana, so like I didn't grow up on watching a lot of American movies and stuff. So I watched mostly Bollywood, and he was in like all of them. Oh, Jess knows who it is. Yeah. So he was like in all of them. He's a majorly international star now as well. Being older and stuff, and he's still acting. He still looks good. His body looks better now because he's worked out and stuff. But yeah, he was one of those crushes that I would dream about like marrying and stuff. And like the movie that I gravitated to, it's called Kuch Kuch Hota Hai. And that's my all-time favorite Bollywood movie. I've seen it about 1 million times. Yes. Every time I watch it, I still cry. I still get emotional over him. And that movie to me, I'll kind of give a synopsis. It's like him and his best friend, they're like in college, and his best friend is kind of like this tomboy, and she's like she comes to a point where she finds an attraction to him, but obviously he does not feel the same because she's this tomboyish kind of girl, and he's mostly like into the girly girls. So later on down the road, he marries the girly girl, but she dies in like the beginning of the movie, and she leaves. It's like a weird concept because it's a Bollywood movie, so it's like really weird. But like the wife that dies, she leaves like these 8 letters for her daughter that they have together, and each birthday the daughter gets a letter. And she's basically telling her about this girl that his dad was in college with, and she loved him and stuff. So that quest is the little girl kind of going on this journey to find her so that he could reunite them so they could be together. So yeah, it was a really emotional like movie, and that kind of spoke to me because growing up as a male, and I always felt like a female inside, like I identified oh, I because guys, growing up, I would have crushes and stuff, but I couldn't fully develop them because I wasn't who I am.
Yeah.
So like now, I think it's like a different story.
Oh man, Robin, thank you for sharing, Robin. Oh my gosh, yes, queen.
No problem. And I'm kind of making like a movie kind of like that, but like my version. So I'm like writing it and stuff like with my point of view. So I hope I could produce that one day and y'all could see it.
Oh my gosh, Robin. All right, claps to Robin. Let's all give a round of applause to Robin. I'm going to show all of the comments here. We've got claps from Valencia. We've got hearts. Aw, so good. Oh, Megs. Thank you, Megs. Yes. All right. Oh my gosh, this is I love y'all. I just want to say that I love y'all. This is so much fun.
It is.
It's been all right. We're gonna go to I believe my 5th pick now. Let's see here. Okay.
Look at this hottie.
Jay Hernandez. Okay, so he was also a person that I looked up to because he's Latinx. He had to start before he got in that Crazy Beautiful movie with Kirsten Dunst, where it was sort of his breakthrough. He was on a show called Hang Time, which was a Saved by the Bell spinoff, which I watched a lot growing up as a kid. And I was like, I mean, I didn't like the plot at all because it was about basketball, but I was like, he's on the show, he's brown, he's sexy, and he was also put in that mode of like an attractive Latin guy. And I was like, that was very seldom seen other than with Mario Lopez in the 90s to 2000s. And it was so great seeing him as well. And he was also in, remember when MTV had that show called Undressed? Where they would talk, where they would talk about sex and all of these taboo topics. He was in 2 episodes, and I remember him in that as well. And like they would always make out and be like, "Oh yeah, we're talking about sex," because Undressed. And now I'm so happy for him career-wise because he recently made a resurgence. He was in Bad Moms 1 and 2 with Mila Kunis playing the really hot stepdad, and he is stacked. And CBS, kudos to CBS for casting him as Magnum PI, who originally was a white character back in the day, and now he's like the lead, like Latinx Magnum PI. I need to watch more episodes because I only watched 1, but from that 1 episode I watched, I was like, oh, the way that he talks and the way that he just like holds a gun, and I just can't. So
I'm looking up at his IMDb right now. Yeah, he's in Magnum PI, Hawaii 5-0. He's got lined up. He did a voice in Toy Story 4.
Oh, he did.
Bonnie's dad, apparently, he played.
Oh wow!
I didn't see Toy Story 4 yet.
I need to watch that too because I don't want to cry yet. So, but I'll watch it later. I'm like, we're gonna be like, oh my god!
Toy Story 3 made me so emotional.
Same. Oh my gosh, that's another thing we can talk about too. So many things we can talk about, y'all.
Yes. That's why you have this platform, Matt.
I know, I love it. Oh, thanks, Robin. And Robin was low-key one of the few first people who was like, Matt, you need to start your own podcast. So I'm gonna give it up to Robin. She's always supporting a lot of people in this community, and I just want to shout that out as well.
Like, Mark Levy, who does his little podcasts and stuff, I think this community opens a lot of doors for a lot of us. So if you don't take the opportunity to do what you got to do, like it's so perfect right now.
Yeah,
it is, and I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna say that a lot during this podcast. Just be ready for that because
we appreciate you too, Matt.
Oh, thank you. Oh. And then, okay, before we go from Jay Hernandez, I still remember that I picked this photo because this was during the Teen People photo shoot of when Crazy Beautiful came out. And I love this photo of him because it was in that Teen People magazine. And just look at that smile.
He has a great smile.
He does.
And the way that, Bad Moms, when they were simulating sex with Mila Kunis, he looks so hot. Mila Kunis is hot too.
Mila Kunis is gorgeous.
Like when they were together, I was like, I know that they're not a real couple, but like they. Oh
what movie were they in together?
Bad Moms.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Bad Moms 1 and 2. You should watch that. like the first one is a little better than the second one, but they're both really good overall for sure.
What movie was Jay Hernandez in with Kirsten Dunst?
Crazy Beautiful.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I still need to watch that too because I didn't watch the movie because my mom sort of deemed it inappropriate too. Because, Filipino moms were trying to protect the Catholic kid from everything.
Middle Eastern and Filipino parents are the same.
Yes, exactly. I feel like that's totally true. All right, any thoughts on Jay before we go on to our other fifth picks? I believe, Ashley, you're up next.
He's super hot.
Yeah.
They're all hot.
They're all hot. Oh my god.
Right.
Okay, here we go. Okay,
Yeah.
Ashley's fifth
Random?
pick, Catherine
Yes.
Heigl. Very random, but it makes sense. Tell us why, Ashley.
It's really because I was trying to think. I was like, okay, whenever I was young, what did I like? I know what I liked. That Disney movie, Wish Upon a Star.
I loved this movie.
It's such a good movie.
Oh my god, I love this movie so much. I must have watched it 100 times. Between that and she was in My Father the Hero, which I used to watch all the time, over and over and over again. And then I also loved the show Roswell. I loved that show so much.
That's right.
Yes, so the young me loved her. I thought she was so funny. She was beautiful, but she was also like kind of quirky. But this movie specifically, I just loved it so much. I thought she was beautiful, and I wanted to be just like her.
What's the other girl's name? I forgot. The one in the picture.
Oh my god, I should know her name, but I don't.
Anyone in chat know the name of this person?
I know. I just know her from all the Halloween movies.
No. Yeah, she's in the Halloween movies. Yeah. God, what's her name?
Hold on.
Yeah, someone else. My computer's sort of lagging right now, so if one of y'all can look it up.
This movie I actually own it on DVD. I just recently bought it.
Danielle Harris.
What was it?
Yes.
Danielle Harris.
Yes. Thank you. And there's been nights where I'll just like watch this and go to sleep. Like, this will be like what I sleep to. Like, I love this movie.
So good. And I want to just comment on Katherine Heigl's reputation as well, because she was put through it. And and here's the thing. I think people, like, looking back on how she was treated back in the day, like, she was totally treated incorrectly by the media. Like, I think she was just totally just a strong woman who was really just standing up for her work environment. And, like, because Knocked Up, those creators were totally, like, bashing her for, like, saying that her character was, like, sort of submissive. But, like, looking back, her character was, and she was just stating a fact.
Mm-hmm.
And so, unfortunately, at the time when Me Too wasn't popular and, like, it just really backfired on her and it shouldn't have. And so that's just unfortunate because she really is a talented actress. And, like, all of the things she's done is just totally worthy of being put more in a positive light, if that makes sense.
Totally agree.
All right. So here we go. I believe it's Ilona's fifth pick. Are we ready? Let's go.
I'm ready.
Oh, yep. Of course.
Yes, Justin.
You cannot have a 90s heartthrob like podcast without Justin Timberlake in that. Like, there's no way. It's not possible. But yeah. So for me, I know everybody was into the Backstreet Boys. I was obsessed with NSYNC. People literally I would have fights with friends over the fact that NSYNC is better than the Backstreet Boys. But for me, like, I actually got into it. This is kind of my personal story. I got into, well, not personally. Anyway, so I got into it after my cousin. She's 7 years older than me. She's like an older sister to me, but she was obsessed. Her and her little group of girlfriends were obsessed with Justin Timberlake. Like, they had posters everywhere. They literally one day asked me, they called me into the room and they asked me, hey, so what is your favorite NSYNC singer? I said JC. And I was shunned. They told me that's not possible. Justin Timberlake is the best one, which right now, and being, she was my role model. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll switch. And then I never looked back after that. I honestly, like, to this day, I will, like, search on my phone, like, news on Justin Timberlake. I love
me too.
Love him. when NSYNC did the Sailing, for their song Sailing, they did, it was, I think, on the Grammys or the Emmys, somewhere rather. I swear to God, I wish I had this on video. I was sitting there crying on the floor as I was watching them. I was sobbing. My family was laughing at me, but I didn't care. I was sobbing. And then when he was the guy in Model Behavior, I don't know if you guys ever saw Model Behavior.
Yes.
I honestly, I just love him so much. So yeah, and that whole relationship with Britney Spears and like all of them coming from the Mickey Mouse Club, like that whole background. That's Justin Timberlake.
And he's a good actor too. I've liked like a couple of his movies.
Yes. Mm-hmm. He was in the Facebook movie, right?
Yes.
The Social Network.
Social Network, yeah, thank you.
And what was that? What was that other one?
Friends with Benefits? Was that with Mila Kunis?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Benefits with Mila Kunis. Yeah.
I love that movie. It has a sex scene in it with him.
Yeah.
you're like, has a sex.
I think I've seen that movie in the theaters.
Oh, really? And he still has like, so I'm maintaining my whole bad boy, like all of these people are bad, all these boys are bad boys. And I would say Justin Timberlake is still considered a bad boy because
for sure.
of his, his like reputation and things of that nature. But at the same time, I think he has a good heart. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, he has a good heart.
I know. I'm like, I've heard various stories where it's like, but then, So I don't know.
I know. But yeah, to this day, I have all of their CDs in my car still.
Yes.
It's just good music.
It really is.
Good.
It really
the No Strings Attached album was my jam. It Makes Me Ill was like not a track that was released, but It Makes Me Ill was one of my favorites because it had that R&B feel to it. And then Space Cowboys was low-key, like, I don't want to say it was my favorite, but it was one of my favorites. And then wasn't there another song about I Just Got Paid, where he's like,
it's literally called Just Got Paid. Yeah,
such a good song.
So that song is in the beginning of She's All That. No, not She's All That. There's another movie from the 90s that's in the beginning of that movie. God, it's gonna kill me now. But I think it might be I don't know what it is, but it's in one of those 90s movies, and It Just Got Paid is like in the beginning of the movie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's so good. Ooh, wait, we have a really random comment on here. I'm going to maybe block this person. Okay, love you, but we're blocking you. Okay, cool. So, all right, anyways.
What I missed?
We're not going to repeat that comment.
I wasn't looking.
Just know it's not true, but yeah.
Yeah, it's not true. All right, so we're going to go to... All right, cool. We're going to go to our next pick. Robin's fifth pick, another Bollywood star. So I'm very excited to learn more about Bollywood heartthrobs. So here we go.
Yes.
And Robin, yes.
Yes, his name is Saif Ali Khan. No relationship to Shah Rukh Khan. They just have the same last name. He's one of those actors that I didn't know he started in the 90s because I didn't see him in a lot of 90s movies. I saw him more in like early 2000s. But his mother, Sharmila Tagore, her name is, she was this big time Bollywood actress in the 60s and 70s. So this is her son, and he's super cute. He's very good looking now. Still, he looks really good. One thing about him that I remember, I was watching this like music video with him and some other men, and of course this was a time when I wasn't out or anything, and I was around some of my cousins, and I was like, oh, because he was in the middle, I was like, oh, he's cute, I like him, like, and they started making fun of me and stuff, and I started crying, and I just left my cousin's apartment and I walked around the block for a little bit because it made me upset. Oh my God, Jess knows all the movies. Yes, that's the movie that he was in with Shah Rukh Khan, Kal Ho Na Ho. That's a very sad movie because in that movie Shah Rukh Khan's like has this disease. And he can't marry the love of his life because he might die soon. So he tries to hook up Saif Ali Khan with the girl, so she has some kind of happiness in her life when he dies. But I won't spoil the end. But
Yeah.
yeah, that was a really good movie. And Jess, I love how you know all this knowledge. No wonder we're like in sync like this. Yes.
Yeah. And like Jess has like been a huge supporter of the Pop Culture Podcast. So you're definitely gonna go be on next episode or in the future for sure, Jess. So thanks for representing Jess.
We need Jess on here.
Oh my gosh. All right, Robin, I am loving these picks. And so now we are getting into our final round of picks. But I'm gonna highlight this comment from Jess.
Oh
wow.
Cool.
Nice.
That's dope.
I wish
Jess.
They had that in a college by me. I would take that in a heartbeat. I would do really good.
Robin, where can I see Bollywood movies? Just because
they're on Amazon Prime, Netflix, Hulu, all the general places. They don't have as much, because there's like so many, but I think Amazon Prime has the most of any.
Cool. All right, if you could message
just type in Bollywood movies and it'll be a whole bunch of them, and they're all subtitled because I don't speak Hindi or anything, so I have to watch it with the subtitles as well.
Oh man. All right, if you could message us that in our chat, Robin, like the 2 movies specifically, that would be awesome. All right, we're gonna go into our final round of picks. As Mix is saying, ooh, best for last. You go, Mix, as well. Everyone in the audience, you go on with your bad self.
Thank you so much for watching.
Yeah, thank you for watching.
All right, here we go. Final round of picks. We all know this is my final pick. For those of you who watched me in my last mini with the Pride Mini, Tyson Beckford. I remember back in the day, in the 90s, he was all over Polo. He was the Polo spokesperson. He was in all of the ads. I bought that cologne. Actually, I didn't buy it because I was a kid. My mom bought it for me because I was like, Mom, can you get some Polo? I want to smell good. And she got it. Thank you, Mom, for making me smell like Tyson Beckford. And he was in the Tony Braxton video. Yes, Unbreak My Heart.
Oh, that's
right.
Where he pretty much got, it was on a
comes out of the swimming pool.
Oh God, yes, that swimming pool. And because my mom was a huge fan of Tony Braxton as well. Every freaking weekend she would sing Unbreak My Heart nonstop, and it's just another sad love song. Just in order for me and my brother to get up to do chores, she would put the karaoke machine on blast. So she'd be like, and at every instrumental interlude, she'd be like, Matthew and Michael, clean the house. Clean the house, I know you hear me. Get out of bed. I'm singing. Aww. Okay. And then she would sing more. And so that's how I would know I knew of Tyson Beckford because obviously Tony Braxton. And he's still super hot now. And a friend of ours in 530, Robin, remember Nick? He sent us, he was, he's the host of Chippendales right now in Vegas. And he's super friendly apparently because Nick was able to sit on his lap.
I know.
And he had a picture of Nick was sitting on Tyson Beckford's lap, and he literally had his hand around him because Tyson loves his fans and he's super open with it. And he's always seemed like to be a super chill guy. And like when Nick showed us that picture, I was like, oh.
You love him even more because, he's
open
like that to not be like, oh, man sitting on my lap. Like, no, like he was cool with it.
And he's cool with that, and he's straight, but like he's like, you know what? I gotta respect my fans because clearly he knows that everybody thinks he's hot. It is not just the women. It's not just the straight identifying people. Yes. We all love Tyson, and this was the reason why Polo was super popular and it was cool because in a lot of these ads he would be the typical black dude, and then they'd have white models. But what was super awesome is in a lot of these ads, he'd be like front and center, and the white guys would like be just there, which again was seldom heard of for not only people of color, but specifically for a person of color that was male. And so he literally put he was super inspirational to not only me, but to a lot of other people as well. And Brian says, let's see, I want to highlight this comment. Tyson's cheekbones could kill me, and I'd love it. Truth.
Yeah, said she had a calendar.
Oh, did she? Where?
I used to have a calendar.
Oh my gosh.
That's awesome.
Yes, Valencia.
Valencia. Yes. All right. Any more comments about this hot man before we go on to our other final picks?
So hot.
All right.
Yeah.
I feel like so hot.
Drool.
True.
All right. We're going to go for our next final picks. All right. Ashley's final pick, Johnny Depp.
Oh man, I loved him too. I wrote fan fiction about him too. I read fan fiction about him too. See, the trick is with the fan fiction is you can go in there and find out like the love interest name, and you can change it to your name, and then it's like read this rebellion. The things I did. Okay, so Johnny Depp, loved him in What's Eating Gilbert Grape, Edward Scissorhands, The Astronaut's Wife, Blow, Pirates of the Caribbean, obviously. He's just a really good actor.
His first movie was Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
So he was in a crop top in that movie. Yum.
He was.
Yes.
Oh, crop tops. Those need to make a comeback.
I think they are for men, yeah.
Yeah.
Crop tops. Yeah.
I mean, crop tops are still in for women. They've always been.
Yeah.
But for men, yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready to get those crop tops out once COVID's done because I need to get back to working out, which is a thing. Another conversation about COVID, but yeah.
It's kind of sad how his career has kind of like gone lately in the last few years, and it sounds like he's had a lot of substance abuse problems and it's kind of taken a turn. But back in the day, he was just a really good actor, and he was super hot.
Yes. All right. Any other thoughts before we go on to our final picks for Ilona and Robin? All right, here we go. Paul Walker.
Paul Walker.
Rest in peace again. So yeah, Paul Walker again she's All That, and please, everybody who has not seen it, watch She's All That. It is such a good movie. Another bad boy. I literally am 5 for 5, but so yeah, Paul Walker is just beauty personified and like a human being.
Yes.
And he's just like such a good looking person. And then he actually was also in The Young and the Restless, which a lot of people knew that, but he was in like over 20 episodes. So he was pretty like consistent like character in The Young and the Restless. But yeah, and then he, obviously everybody knows him from Fast and the Furious and all that. So so She's All That, I didn't watch it back in the 90s. I just watched it for the first time, like maybe like 7-8 years ago or so. And that's when I was like fully exposed to Paul Walker, mainly because like I never really got into the Fast and the Furious series. And so that's where I first saw him. And yeah, I just fell in love with him. Look at like just the arms, like just everything, like, ugh. Really,
and he was a big philanthropist when he was alive.
Yes, he was.
That just makes a guy super extra attractive.
Was he in that movie with Jessica Alba about like surfing or something?
Yeah.
Yes.
I forgot what it's called.
It was a Blue
October.
Blue, yeah.
I think Blue October or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, he had a daughter with somebody, I think the woman, he met her in Hawaii, I think when he was filming maybe Blue October, but he met her there, and she was like some school teacher there. Basically nobody like famous. And he had a baby with her, and she didn't, or I think he didn't want to marry. I don't know what happened. Anyways, he helped raise that daughter, and he stayed in that daughter's life, and until he passed away, unfortunately. So
I know. And he just had, from after his death, like he clearly, everyone in Hollywood and just everyone from his life was saying how great of a person he was, and you could totally see that, especially with a lot of the behind the scenes clips that were released from Fast and the Furious. And it just, he was one of those people who really was taken from us way too soon. And he had a lot of, he literally was he came out with his final movie. It was about the New Orleans, it took place in New Orleans, where it took during the storms and whatnot. And he did a really great job being dramatic in that and acting, and he had so much potential. If he were still alive, I could see him getting like an Oscar or even nominated because he was going that direction, and it was just unfortunate about his death. But we salute you, Paul. You're hot, but you were also super nice and super kind, and
just that
your memory lives
smile
on.
too, a fantastic smile.
Yes.
Oh gosh.
And I think I know, like now looking back on all of these pics, I think I really was into like the bleached blonde, like kind of look.
I think most of us were.
I had the bleached blonde hair too, and it was a really ugly look on me.
Would you?
I did.
I really need to see a picture of that, Matt. I really do.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, I will look it up. I think it was posted somewhere, but I'll look into it and see if I have it in my album somewhere. So because it did happen, a lot of Abercrombie. Oh my god.
Oh god. Yeah. There's a whole like other podcast that we can talk about, like everything from the 90s. Like there's so much to discuss.
There is so much to discuss, and that's why I'm glad this channel came to fruition, because there clearly is an audience for it, and the fact that we are reminiscing about this and having so much fun means it needs to happen.
And
So
you're teaching the children like Miguel, who's
I know. Honestly, everybody that was not alive in the 90s or like, you know, was our age in the 90s, the 90s was, in my opinion, the best.
yes.
It had to have been. Like all of these icons, like Heartthrobs and like all these movies and just everything.
Oh, Mark's here.
All of my most embarrassing
Mark.
and most cringeworthy moments.
Yes. Oh, hold on. We're calling Migs out. Love you, Migs. We love you. You know that, right? So we are just educating the youngins of Sequesterkins. I know a lot of y'all are just turning 21.
I know.
22.
Oh my god.
I don't understand.
I know. Every time I'm on the Zoom calls, they're like, I'm so old. I'm 22. And I'm like, y'all, I'm 34. I'm way older than y'all. Like, get it together. You're not old.
Yeah, one of the people in our mini from 66, shout out 66. But they're 18 and yeah, and I'm like, what? Like they weren't even. I don't think they were alive for 2000 or 9/11 or like. There's just,
They weren't.
Yeah, they weren't. I can't do math right now, but I don't understand.
Yeah, it was like there's a time. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. But we love you. But this is why this channel, the main reason why I wanted to put this podcast up, to educate y'all about stuff that happened way before y'all were born. Because you need to know. You need to know.
Play the Oregon Trail.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Also, okay. Before we go to our final pick from Robin, there is this show on Netflix called High Score where they talk about the video games of the 90s and our past, which is just 6 episodes. Y'all need to watch it. They talk about Pac-Man, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, even Doom. Oh, so good. So, all right, we're getting in the home stretch, y'all. This is Robin's final pick. Here we go.
Yes.
What a way to end.
Yes, what a way to end.
Yeah, of course, I know him from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That's when I first saw him. And I didn't know he was like a rapper and stuff because I wasn't like into that. But that's the show I saw him on. And like in the early 2000s and stuff, he was doing all these movies and he's super hot. Have you guys seen I Am Legend? When he was working out? Oh my gosh. So hot. And you know, I've heard like rumors about him being a little maybe fluid with his sexuality. So that's always good. You know, I would love to get in an entanglement with Will Smith.
Yeah.
He has a thing for Virgos and I'm a Virgo. So.
And Jada's a Virgo, you said, yeah?
Yeah, she's a Virgo. And it's so funny. The person she got into an entanglement with is also a Virgo, August.
Oh.
All just a Virgo mess.
Oh man. Can I tell y'all the story about my Will Smith wake up call in terms of like when I thought he was hot? So back in the day, we were all on internet. We had slow ass modems, but again, during that age, because I'm a dude and my libido was just like, ooh, let's look at stuff. So I basically was looking up images of penis pictures of celebrities and Will Smith, I was like, in the search, I was like, Will Smith, penis picture. And then I thought it was real. There was this photo that used that head, the head right here. at Houston.
There's
so-
clarification.
Yeah, and so that's why when Robin like sent this photo, I was like, it just brought me back. And so literally, someone literally put this head on top of another new person's penis and body, and it looked real. And I was so excited. I was like, oh my god, Will Smith's penis photo. But then I saw this photo, and I was like, oh, it's not. But yeah, since then, like,
destroyed.
I know my hope was destroyed, but like he still is so hot. But yeah, when he was on Fresh Prince, I was just like, he was hilarious. He knew how to act, and such an attractive man.
Speaking of modem, do you remember the dial-up days?
Yes,
Oh,
AOL.
You couldn't use the phone if you were on the internet.
No,
Yeah.
you had to turn off.
And it would
And,
mess
like-
up if somebody called.
Yes, and the songs would take 5 hours to download.
Yes.
And what would suck is if it was the wrong song, because they could be mislabeled, you'd be like, no!
And then it was like was it LimeWire that like
my
I
God.
downloaded,
And
like,
Napster.
hundreds of songs
Yes.
and my
Yes.
computer crashed.
Oh my god.
Just downloading a lot of viruses to your
Yeah.
computer.
Yes.
I thought
Oh
all you
my-
had to do was unplug your computer from the wall to not have buttons.
Right?
Oh god.
All right. Any more comments about the incomparable Will Smith before we open it up to the audience for any ideas of who we forgot? Are we good?
Yeah, I just want to say he looked.
That's on my mind that I wanted to discuss.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, there's just so many.
There's just so
Yeah.
many, and we can do a part 2 of this. Clearly, we should do a part 2. We're not going to do it as the next episode, but I definitely want to revisit this episode or 2 after. So I'm gonna stop sharing. All right, we are. Now we're all full screen. Hello, everyone.
Yes.
All right, so I'm gonna open it up to those in the audience. We're gonna have this show go on for about 5 to 10 more minutes. Who do you think we missed in our wonderful, wonderful talk about Heartthrobs? Feel free to comment. I'll give y'all about a few seconds. There were so many. Even like as we were talking, we were like, oh my god, we forgot about this person.
Yeah.
We forgot about that person. There was just so many good icons back in the 90s and early 2000s. So I'm gonna Jess, while we're waiting, because I know there's a 30-second lag, Hitch is one of his best movies.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and oh my gosh, and Eva Mendes.
Yes.
Oh, perfect hair.
Gorgeous. Oh my god.
Yes.
Oh my
I just love how when we were trying to come up with like who to talk about in our like separate chat, there was just like lists and lists of people. Like there's just so many good heartthrobs.
Yes. Oh,
I
Meg.
only pick a few.
It's all it's very hard, and that's why we gotta reboot this. We gotta reboot this. And and JJ. Okay, I forgot to say JJ was supposed to be on this panel as well. Did I say that already to the audience? I probably
No.
not. But JJ's been super sick this whole week, and he was supposed to join us
feel
as
better,
well.
JJ.
So JJ, we
Miss
love you.
you.
We hope
Love
you are
you.
getting. We hope you're getting well. And yeah, all right, Migs coming with No Doubt. Duh, we forgot about No Doubt. Ska band. Don't Speak was my jam. Even though as a kid I didn't know what that really meant because I didn't know what love was, but I still love singing it. It
Gwen
was great.
Stefani was such an attractive woman.
Yes.
Still so beautiful.
attractive. Yeah.
Age
Spider
wise.
webs.
Yes.
Oh
yes.
my God, yes. Oh, and then Valencia says, beautiful panel. Valencia,
Oh,
okay.
Valencia.
Yo.
I just
Thank you.
wanna shout out to Valencia specifically. She's been one of our most supportive viewers in Sequester, always giving us props. So
Mhm. She's always liking my tweets and
yes.
reposting and stuff. I appreciate it.
So
Yeah.
shout out to Valencia. Oh, Jess. Okay.
Ryan.
Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
He
Yes.
was in our chat. I actually almost picked him. I
Yeah.
almost picked him.
Yeah.
I did
Okay,
too.
let's talk about him real quick because we forgot. Yeah, it's Cruel Intentions.
I know what you did last summer.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Yes.
He's still super hot. Oh my god.
He is.
I mean, I loved him and Reese Witherspoon together, but when they got a divorce, I was like, "Oh, I have a chance now."
Oh yeah, and then
he was also in another soap opera, One Life to Live.
That's right, and so was Sarah
Yeah.
Michelle Gellar, also who we
Yes.
forgot
Yes.
about.
That movie.
Also,
Beautiful. I love her.
I love her too.
Of course,
All
y'all know
right.
I love her, especially as Daphne Blake in Scooby Doo.
Paul
Oh, yeah.
Rudd. Yes.
Paul Rudd.
All right,
Oh my god.
Ryan.
Almost picked.
I didn't know he was a '90s heartthrob, but
Oh my god, he's so
Daddy Paul. Oh my
he was
god.
Clueless.
Yep.
We talked about him in our
Ageless.
Clueless episode. He was so.
He doesn't
Yeah.
know.
He doesn't.
Yeah,
know.
Mark
No.
really has not aged at all. No.
Yep.
No.
Not since 1995.
That's why I didn't know he was from the '90s. I literally used to see him in like movies in the 2000s, and used to be like, "Oh, who's this cute young guy?" And then like finding out how old he is now, I'm like, "Really?"
Yeah.
He
That
was
was
also in
surprising.
Friends too. He was
Yes.
husband. Yeah.
He was in Friends. Oh my gosh. All right. I'm going to give one more minute to comments before we wrap up because I know that there is a mini happening today. All right, cool. Yeah, it's pretty much people saying he really hasn't and Mick saying LOL. So, sorry,
That played
Mick.
Hillary Banks.
Oh,
Oh,
wait.
Hillary Banks from The Fresh Prince.
Oh, Karen Parsons.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, she
Yes.
was really attractive too. Yeah.
Oh, and then Tatiana
I
Ali.
loved Hillary's
And
character.
Hillary.
Yeah.
Oh, Hillary. And then Tati. Oh, my God. There's just so much we can
Aaliyah?
talk about. Oh, Aaliyah.
I love Aaliyah. Queen of the Damned.
Too.
Oh, my gosh. We're going to have another panel about this. We're all going to talk about the people who we forgot. It's just, what a great, great panel. And so with that said, we're going to end our second episode of my podcast here. I just want to say thank you all for viewing, and thank you to Ashley, Robin, and Ilona for being on this panel.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having
Of
us.
course. Oh, thank you again. It's been, as y'all know, it's been a dream of mine. Like, even before I got into acting, I wanted to move to LA to work for VH1 or the E! Network because I just was super, super knowledgeable about pop culture facts during those times. And so the Sequester community and all y'all have been rebooting that dream of mine. And it's super cool to just talk about things that I love so much. And so with that said, before y'all go, I'm going to show, I know that we already have our social media tags here in our names, but I'm going to show banners just to make sure that if you aren't following each and every one of us, please do. So I'm going to put Ashley's Twitter handle up first. So Ashley, this is her Twitter. Please follow her if you haven't. Ashley, any final thoughts about just this podcast or your Twitter? Let us know.
I promise I have grown up a lot since those cringy days. You don't have to be scared of me. I've shared a lot of really embarrassing things, and that's because I love everybody. So.
Yes, Ashley.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Ashley, for being on again. This was awesome. All right. And so next we're going to have Ilona. Here is her Twitter. Please follow her. Any final thoughts, Ilona?
Thanks for having me.
Yes.
I just want to say that I am so grateful and blessed that I was raised in the 90s, that I was able to experience all of these amazing things, fall in love with all these amazing people, and just have great childhood memories. And everybody who was not born in the 90s, please go rewatch anything you can about the 90s, because it literally was the best decade ever. So
it literally was. I agree with you. Thank you, Ilona. Thank you so much. And our final panelist, we've got Robin. All right.
Yes.
Please follow Robin on Twitter if you aren't yet. Any final thoughts, Robin?
Well, retweet what everybody else said. I want to say this panel is beautiful. All the people that we chose. I gotta go check my underwear. But yeah, thanks for having us. It was a great time.
You're welcome. And then obviously I have to promote myself because duh. Follow me at Matt Dela Cruz. My final thoughts. Love this panel. I can't wait to do more episodes about these themes, and it's just been an honor to just go back down memory lane with y'all. I've had so much fun. Oh my gosh. And so with that said, we are officially going to end the second episode of Pop Culture Time with Matt D.C. So once again, I just wanted to say thanks again to the viewers. Thanks again to those on the panel. It's been an honor, and I truly love each and every one of you so much. And just remember, there is going to be a mini. We all know there's going to be a mini, so feel free to watch the mini too. Or take a break if you want. It's all good. And Robin, you're having a game tonight too, as well.
Yes, I am. I'm hosting, like, because we do all this BB random org games every night, like in the Sequesters group that I'm in, and every night everybody's hosting a game. So I wanted to take a stab at hosting, and I have so many things prepared, and Matt's in production, so Matt's seen some of the stuff. So I hope it lives up to the hype. I have like 36 people. That's a lot of people in the cast. Because people kept asking me, oh, is there an open spot? And I kept feeling bad. I was like, we could do it, but that means more triple evictions and double evictions and stuff, eliminations. So it's going to be fun. And if it goes well and everybody likes it, I'm going to do a part 2 so y'all could sign up.
Yes, and it's going to happen after the mini.
After the mini, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Is there a way to watch?
Use the bathroom?
No, you can go. No, there's a sorry. My brother's cleaning.
Is it through Zoom?
Yeah, we're gonna be doing it through Zoom, so it's not gonna be like streamed anywhere.
Yeah.
But we will have like audience. You guys can come and be the audience in the game.
Yeah.
Just watch and see how it goes.
What time does it start?
It'll be after the mini, so it's like maybe 12:30, 1 a.m. So
for y'all, like.
Yeah,
and I are lucky to.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah. I'm not even be sleeping or tired at all, really.
Yeah. So I'll send the link in our chat, like
cool
when it happens, so you guys can come and watch. And if you guys like it, you guys can sign up for the next one, because I do need more women to sign up next time.
Yes,
please.
Absolutely. Right.
Actually, final 2.
Yeah.
Just between me and you. Nobody else knows.
Look, no one's watching this at all, y'all.
Don't out us.
All right, and with that said, we are officially ending our episode. Again, much love, and thank you so much, and take care. Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.